Can you believe it? A bitter melon that tastes extremely bitter can actually be turned into a sweet dessert that even a five-star hotel chef would nod in approval. It may sound strange, but the combination of two ingredients that seem completely unrelated, banana and bitter melon, when prepared the right way, ends up creating a flavor that makes anyone who tries it completely change their mind because of how it tastes. Not only that, but it also has many great health benefits for you. Want to know what's hidden behind that rough green skin? Follow me until the end of the video to discover the special recipe that's making bitter melon a hot dish, not only in restaurant kitchens, but also in your own home kitchen. First, you need to prepare a few bitter melons. It's best to choose ones that are large, evenly sized, and fresh, and a few ripe bananas that are not too soft, so that they're easy to handle, and will keep their shape well when sliced for this dish. Now let's start by prepping the bitter melon first. When preparing bitter melon, many people often have the habit of rinsing it immediately under running water. However, this method can actually cause the bitter sap to cling more tightly to the flesh of the fruit. Instead, you should begin by cutting off both ends of the bitter melon. Then, cut it in half horizontally to split it open. At this point, use the handle of a small spoon to gently scrape out all the white pulp and seeds inside. This is the part that contains most of the bitterness in the bitter melon. Did you know that bitter melon, also known as bitter gourd, is rich in vitamins C, A, and E, as well as powerful antioxidants like flavonoids and alkaloids that help boost immunity, beautify the skin, and fight aging? In addition, it has a cooling nature, supports liver function, detoxifies the body, and is especially known for its ability to help lower blood sugar levels, making it beneficial for people with prediabetes or those who need to manage their blood sugar. It's very good for you, but not everyone is fully aware of all its amazing benefits. Only after removing all the inner pulp should you rinse the bitter melon. Wash it thoroughly with water to remove all the dirt and leftover pulp pieces stuck inside the grooves. Thanks to this preparation method, the bitterness of the bitter melon will be significantly reduced while still retaining its crispness and attractive bright green color when cooked. After that, simply scoop it out and set it aside. Next, prepare a small amount of goji berries of similar size and start processing them. Goji berries are small but highly nutritious fruits because they contain many antioxidants that help improve vision, enhance liver function, and slow down the aging process. When combined with bitter melon, they play an important role in balancing the cooling nature of the bitter melon. The method is very simple. Just put a small handful of goji berries into a bowl, then pour in clean water to soak them for a few minutes. After that, pour out the dirty water and soak them again in another bowl of clean water. This soaking process helps clean the dirt on the surface and mellow out the medicinal flavor of the goji berries, while also making the final dish more harmonious and not too cooling for the stomach. After soaking, let them drain completely, and they will be ready to combine with the bitter melon. Returning to the bitter melon from earlier, after it has been properly prepared, you should get a pot of boiling water ready, add 1 teaspoon of salt into it, then drop the bitter melon into to boil for about 3 minutes. Adding salt not only helps reduce the natural bitterness, but also assists in eliminating oxalate, a compound that can hinder mineral absorption if accumulated excessively. Boiling gently like this will help the bitter melon become just tender enough while still retaining its crunchiness, softening the bitterness, yet preserving its valuable nutrients. Immediately after the time is up, you should scoop the bitter melon out and place it into a bowl of cold water that you have already prepared. This cold soak step works to lock in the color, helping each piece of bitter melon maintain its fresh green hue while also preventing it from continuing to cook, keeping its crunchy texture that's so appealing when eaten. Once the bitter melon is completely cooled down, now comes the most exciting step: stuffing the banana into the bitter melon to create a visually interesting and appealing dish. First, peel the banana completely. keeping the whole fruit intact. Then gently place it inside half of the bitter melon. Bananas are a good source of potassium, vitamins B, 6, and C, and fiber, which are beneficial for heart health and digestion. Eating bananas helps create a feeling of fullness for longer, supporting natural weight loss. In addition, when combined with bitter melon, the banana's natural sweetness helps balance out the bitterness of the bitter melon without needing to add refined sugar. Since the bitter melon has softened after being blanched, stuffing the banana in will not be too difficult. Once the banana is neatly nestled inside the bitter melon, you just need to use a sharp knife to cut it into evenly sized round slices that are easy to eat. The slices of bitter melon sandwiching the banana, with light green on the outside and golden yellow on the inside, are not only appetizing, but also visually stunning. Arrange each slice neatly on a serving plate. The final step is what truly brings the dish to life: decorating and finishing off the flavor. Lightly sprinkle a few softened goji berries onto each slice of bitter melon. The reddish-orange hue of the goji berries stands out beautifully against the fresh green of the bitter melon and the golden yellow of the banana, creating a creatively eye-catching highlight on any family dining table or small weekend gathering, making anyone who sees it curious and eager to try. Next, use a spoon to drizzle a thin layer of honey over the entire dish. The honey not only helps neutralize the bitterness of the bitter melon, but also enhances the natural sweetness of the banana, resulting in a unique blend: mildly sweet, refreshingly light, and with a hint of pleasant bitterness on the tip of the tongue. This dish is not only unusual and visually appealing, but also offers many health benefits. With its main ingredients being bitter melon and banana, two foods rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, it helps you feel full longer, curbs cravings, and supports effective digestion. In particular, bitter melon is also known for its ability to detoxify the body, cool the liver, reduce abdominal fat accumulation, and improve skin health. Bananas, on the other hand, provide natural energy, and their mild sweetness balances the bitterness of the bitter melon, creating an overall harmonious flavor that is much easier to enjoy. If you're looking for a dish that is both good for your figure and great for your skin, try adding this dish to your menu regularly. The results will gradually become noticeable over time. So from now on, you no longer have to feel any dislike toward bitter melon. On the contrary, you might actually fall in love with it after watching today's video. Simply by combining a banana with bitter melon, you already have a new and delicious dish that is also extremely healthy. Be sure to save this recipe and try making it for everyone at home to enjoy. Thank you, and see you again in the next video.